My question is to the Minister for Corrections, and it relates to the cost of phone calls in Victorian prisons. Father's Day is in 2 weeks, and thousands of children with parents in Victorian jails won't get a call from Dad because of the prohibitive cost. Calls in Victorian jails are the highest in the country, with a 12-minute phone call costing $7. To put that in some context, inmates can only earn up to a maximum of $9.60 a day, and that's money that they need for all of their expenses. The government has already agreed in principle with the Yoorrook Justice Commission recommendation to immediately take all necessary steps to ensure prisoners, including Aboriginal prisoners, can make telephone calls for free or at no greater cost than the general community. I ask, what is the government doing to make phone calls cheaper in Victorian jails?
Minister.
Thank you. President, I thank Mr Ettershank for his question and his interest in this matter. As a government, we are proud to be investing in our correction system, and I know, particularly during the COVID period, it was a difficult period where people couldn't see their relatives in correctional centres in person. There are a number of ways that people can see and connect with family, because we know to get the best results for people in our correction system, it's about connection to community, connection to family is a key factor in assisting someone's rehabilitation. And that's why we've invested in new technologies at our new custodial facilities, opportunities to connect via Zoom and make use of those technologies that we utilised during the pandemic, that we've continued at many of our premises, return to in-person visits. But you are correct about the cost of calls. I had the privilege and honour of appearing before the Yoorrook Commission last year, and I stated that my view that the cost of calls in custodial settings should be lower. It's a matter of raised with the department. As we speak, I'm waiting for an updated brief on how we can bring that to fruition. Understanding that the settings and tools we use to monitor calls, there's a technology in place that's needed appropriately to manage the risks in those settings in place. But I have, at the moment, asked for a brief, and I'm happy to, offline, to update you on where we progress with that.
Mr Ettershank, supplementary.
Thank you, President, and I thank the Minister for his response. There is a mountain of evidence demonstrating that connection with family and friends outside of prison reduces anxiety and depression amongst inmates. Family connection supports prisoners in their rehabilitation and reintegration into the community. It reduces recidivism and has also been shown to reduce the number of violent incidents in jail. For incarcerated parents, regular phone calls enable them to not only maintain but significantly strengthen their relationships with their children, which of course also greatly improves the health and well-being of their child. Jurisdictions in the US and UK have introduced free phone calls in prisons and are noticing the positive differences that makes to the lives of inmates. So I ask, will the government make phone calls in prison free this Father's Day and then look to making them free all year round?
Minister.
President, I thank Mr Ettershank for his supplementary question, and I do agree that connection to family and community is a key rehabilitative factor. It's one that, as Minister, I've made the point at the Yoorrook, and I stand today saying I believe the cost of calls should be cheaper. In terms of all those options, I have asked for a brief from the department, and I eagerly await that response, that detailed response to the department. And I'm happy to have a discussion with Mr Ettershank to continue this conversation, because it is important. So we have implemented new technologies where people have a free option via the internet. There are other options for in-person visits, but the cost of phone calls is something that I'm very acutely aware, and I'm committed to doing.